All right. Good afternoon. My name is Scott Redler, Chief Strategic Officer at T3Live.com. Feels like just yesterday or January where everyone was high-fiving, the Redler All Access Premium Report. I feel like I had a spreadsheet of the 18 names. We were up like net 28% on all the stocks if you would have taken, a mutual fund approach to them. And then if you would have taken them off when they reached their objectives versus sitting in them, could have called it a year. And then boom, second week of February, NASDAQ topped, or hit a short-term high. Doesn't mean it topped for the year. And then since then, it's been just like a grind. Lower highs, lower lows. I would say there's a big time majority of names that are 40 to 70% off their highs or 30 to 50% off their highs, while the S&P is like a pebble throw away. So a little bit of frustrating, but we have a day left. One would, tomorrow for the end of the quarter. Still think people had a decent quarter. Just, if you were counting your money in February thinking you were going to double it up for the first quarter, like I did a little bit, you were a little disappointed. But I think reality set in for a while. Like I know for reality for me set in where I'm like, okay, I'm not going to beat the highs of my quarter, but I made money back for my lows, and I'm just trying to do the right trades with a little less risk. You do the right trades with a little less risk after you adjust, and you tack it on. You can't be making as much as when you have 30 to 40 names on and you're massaging a portfolio approach where tech is powerful, the heartbeat of the market. But you can't lose as much either. So anyway, here's where we are. If you look at the chart of the S&P cash, 2 inside days after Friday's move, lots of noise to absorb, like the Chinese fund that everybody thought would have systemic risk and didn't. Rates making higher highs today that people thought would have systemic impact on the markets and didn't. And here we are with the S&P holding 39.43. The longer we hold 39.43, the higher the probability we take out this area. I don't know if it's tomorrow. I don't know if it's on Thursday when new flows come in for the quarter, etc. But it seems like the trend is your friend and it's still going higher. Here, market had a chance to break lower and it didn't, pop right back in the channel. And then here we held the 50-day, which I don't know where the 50-day is. What happened to the 50-day? Let's see, where is my 50-day? Moving average.
200 is in there.
What the hell happened there? Okay, let's go. Input 50. See that? I'm getting more technically sound. There it is. Held the 50-day, reclaimed 38.89, made a move up, and now we're digesting here. The question is, do we get another day or not? At this point, it does feel like money's there to continue to support the market, and we're getting more sell imbalances and buy imbalances. But once you start a new quarter and a month, it changes. So we'll see, and we'll figure it out. So that's that. The Qs, very tricky. Dancing. It's like dancing around every day. It dances around the prior low, and we know that that's the short-term battleground on whether to be long or short to make cash flow. And if you look here at the Qs closed at 114.24. Not a hell of a move, but it went below 312.47, came back above it. No reason by the way of this looking chart to be super duper short NASDAQ right now. It's hanging in there. Rates made higher highs. The Qs made higher lows. So that tells me that perhaps you could be long some tech, and maybe in the new quarter all these big channels start to evolve or resolve to the upside or not. But they've been there for 9 months, so we've been rotating and finding other things to do, which is what we do. We get up early. We have a routine and process to find opportunities. So anyway, at some point, perhaps this little descending trend line breaks to the upside. First thing it's going to have to do is reclaim 317 for that, and we'll see. IWM had a big bounce today. Nice red dog reversal. Red doggy. Anyway, what's a red dog reversal? You know what that is. After yesterday's weakness, it went below a prior low, kind of came back above it. So I did not trade it, but it gave some oomph to the market. Same thing that happened here. After breaking the 8-day up there, here was your first red dog reversal. Here's a higher low, another one. And now I guess we'll see, do the small caps give us some clues that some power comes back. This 224 is your next resistance. We shall see. I said, how do we deal with 214.08 today? Well, it reclaimed 214.08, and now we'll see, does it pop above that? What did the banks do today with all the hoopla about systemic risk and all the, and all the, whatever you want to call it, leverage that it gave to this home office prop trading scenario? All, held yesterday, up a little bit today. Not much to do here, but did not pressure the market. So let's move on. In high beta tech land, it's still not very interesting. It's just the Apple is just a whole lot of nothing. I don't know if it's going to change, when it's going to change, but I've tried it a few times. Today it briefly went below 119 and came back above it. It's hanging in here. Not very interesting at all. I had it long. I don't have it overnight. I don't know what it's going to take. At some point we'll get a big day one and it'll show its face that you could trade it again. But since this, breakout failure and this candle that got us below the 21 day, it's been a lethargic mess. But it's not really falling apart. It's just lethargic. A lethargic mess. But sometimes you can make money with a lethargic mess. A lot of people made really good money in Tesla. Why did they make good money in Tesla? Because it was calculated. How was it calculated? Well, you know what the red dog reversal tactic is. Goes below a prior low, comes back above it. You buy at that prior low, you put a stop at the low of the day, and you figure out if that was a buyable bottom versus trying to catch a falling knife. And if you look here at Tesla, that's exactly what it did today. All right, Tesla went below 596, right? Below 596, which was right here. Okay, that was the prior low. Put in a new low of 591. So yes, you had to risk $5. $5 in Tesla is not a lot. Okay, came back above it, which was a little surprising. I was surprised. I was not going with it today. And then boom, look at that candle. And now it seems as if it's still kind of in this inverse head and shoulders pattern. It's still in the game. It just has a lot of obstacles in front of it. What's an obstacle? Well, look at all these moving averages it has to take out just to even get to this descending trend line again, where it's been getting rejected every time. It's got deliveries on Friday. It's hard to tell, but today was a great trade. You could have bought it when it reclaimed 596, and you could have also bought it when it took out yesterday's high of 617. So two ways in order to look. Tesla's been spending. It only gives range trades. If this is going to be constructive, it needs to hold 596. Otherwise, you can go back to 539 lows. We'll see what you can go red to green today. Well, anyway, red dog reversal, nice move. You didn't have to be in it for weeks and months to make money today tactically. Google, I'm still in it from yesterday. I traded the range. I was long it all day, made some money there. Still just hanging out here. I did not add to it into the 2064. I sold actually 2016. I bought it back and I'm still in it. And we'll see if this constructive chart can make a move back towards better prices. Facebook was a little weaker. Somebody left the company, but all in all, just an inside day after 2 big days. Not the end of the world. Facebook, to me, just like Google, has one of the most constructive charts. It's just a question of whether it could hold here and show some power. Tech hasn't shown power in a while. If all of a sudden Facebook or Google show some power, maybe that'll give us some clues that money's rotating here, and we'll have a more better sequence or more continuity where it's not one day up, one day down, one day up, one day down. More like 3 days up, 1 day sideways, maybe a day and a quarter, and then it resumes. We like it when it resumes. Right now, it's just been a choppy mess. Amazon was a little weaker today. But still kind of held the spot. I have not traded Amazon in a little while. Why? Because it's been a choppy mess. This channel has been going on for a long time now, and I have no interest. Or I have a little interest, but it's not giving me any reason. We'll see what happens tomorrow, if it's worth going to. SOXL, I'm actually in some of this. Why am I in some of this? Well, it's getting tight. I feel like if tech's going to turn up, the semiconductors is the heartbeat of tech. Kind of held this spot, and maybe instead of buying in a 39, I'm like, let me buy a little bit into support. So if I'm engaged and if it gets going, I could be there. I also bought some QRVO options. Why? Because if the semis happen to get going, which I'm not saying they are, but if they're going to need some, a leader, and this chart is closer to the highs than mid-range, and it's above the moving averages. So I don't know when it's going to go. So I figured if I have some options on going out a few weeks, it'll keep me engaged. So if there's a trade and it ignites and there's volume and it gets above 186, or maybe even above whatever this is 182.71 to say 183, Now you have a few buyable pivots, but I don't know what it's going to take for that. So when I don't know what it's going to take, I usually buy options, and that's why I bought the option. Same way down here, I didn't know what it was going to take to get Facebook to clear this 265, but I was like, it should happen soon. It's very tight, and then it's got to clear this. I bought options, 265, 275s, and I traded it along the way too. Now, the longer it stays here, the higher the probability it takes out 299, and then 304, which is the all-time high. But we'll see. It's got to go sideways. It's got to hold this 284 for now. Some things I tried a little snow today. Wasn't great, but some guys caught this low here. What is this low? This was like sometimes you get a false breakout, meaning a false breakdown, I'm sorry, which is kind of what happened here. And then had a little bit of a bounce and put in a little bit of a higher low, so I bought a little bit. I had some success here back in the start of this until the red dog reversal. So I figured, whatever, I tried a little bit. We'll see how that goes. And then you had the broken names that tried to put in double bottoms. What do I mean by that? Like names that we were long for weeks and months in 2020 that have been in a corrective phase for a while, but seem like there's a tradable bounce here. Not sure. So if you look at the VTF, you'll see what I have on. So there are a bunch of names that I am trying, but I don't have much conviction with. So today was like my first day in them again for a little bit. So what are they? Well, you just looked at the virtual trade for it. Palantir. Maybe, this is a double bottom area and it gets better and clears this spot. Maybe. This was when it was fantastic bubble. The moving averages traded a bounce, and now maybe this low holds. So I'm in some. Remember TIGR from my Redler report that hit every objective that I had? First time buying back in a while. Why? First of all, this is when it was fantastic, and then you do right. Look at this red dog reversal top, broke the 8-day, broke the 21-day, and now it seems like, they got caught up in the tiger mess, and it's a totally different company. But anyway, it looks like a double bottom. Maybe there's a move back towards 16 or 17. So I bought back a little bit, just maybe. This is when it was special, and we were buying it at 8. I think I was done with it into 27, and guys like, you missed the whole move up to 30. I'm like, I don't care. So I missed this part of the move, and then I didn't touch this part of the move. So now I'm back in a little bit for a trade. Same thing with FCell. FCell traded this entire move. Fantastic. Then I played a few different bounces. Red dog reversal sell, 8-day broke, confirming that. Stayed away. I played this bounce, made money, played this bounce, and now it seems, that's not a very conviction type word, seems that 1107, and 1155, it seems like maybe you have a double bottom here, and maybe we get another move up. So again, seems and maybe are not very strong terms. So as you saw, I went back in it today. And the last one, remember last year how much money we made on JMIA? It seems that maybe, again, this is when we played it this entire way up and then get out of the way when it broke the spot, that perhaps in a small red dog reversal here, they raised a lot of money, a lot of obstacles in front of it. But I said, hey, I didn't buy it here. I didn't buy it here. I didn't buy it here. You know what? Maybe there's a trade here. So I took small. So then on the other side of the coin with the value names, I'm still in Starbucks. Looks like it's heading back to highs. I'm still in, McDonald's, even though it looked a little faultier today, but all in all, not a big deal. We were in McDonald's from down here, and I've sold a lot of the strength. I did buy GME today, first time in a while. Last time I had GME was here. We made a lot of money in the stock and options, and then here I made a lot of money in the options, and now it seems like it's trying to get better. So I'm in the stock, and I also bought a call spread. What did I buy today? Let's see. I bought just in case it doesn't trade well and I want to sit in. I bought the 240s, and I sold a little bit more of the 290s. So I think all in all, the net cost was 10, and I could make 50. So I can make 40 points. So you risk 10 grand to make 40 grand if it happens, besides trading it. Or if you had 5 of them, you're risking 5 grand to make 25 grand. I like the risk reward, and I think the chart is a little bit better. Again, some pretty impressive hires. So you would think maybe it could hold this way and then get going. does take a lot of energy, so be careful, being too involved in it. But we'll see. It does seem like it could trade above this, and if it does, the next spot is 295. So that's why I did bought some 240s, because there's like a void here if it wants to go, and it's a big maybe. Just for a trade, I bought some Macy's. Remember how well we did here? Guys were yelling at me when I sold it in the 20s and went to 21.10 and pulled all the way back. Well, now looks like there's a trade here. I know the seal is going to be on Mad Money tonight, so kind of like thinking ahead that maybe he talks highly enough and it gets a push. It's a big maybe. BFT, we did the same thing. It pushed and then failed. So I sold probably 75%, which I told you at 15.80, and I'm not buying any back yet. Same way we were in LIZI, and this one I went back to, unfortunately. But basically we were in it, and then Citron came out, sold most of it, bought some back here, and then got hurt. So that's why with Root, guys like, what are you doing with Root? I'm like, I'm doing a whole lot of nothing. Bought it in here, sold it, and I'm done. Today look how low it went down. Holy cow, it went all the way to 11.88. So glad we sold the majority of it, and we'll see. GE, I bought it. So far, so good. Nice little trade. We'll see if it can continue to the upside. Last time I got very heavy in GE was earlier in the year, last year actually. But it seems like it's a new company, kind of, and it has a nice little pattern here. So I'm in a decent amount. I had tier 1.5 or tier 2. Now I'm a little lighter, but I still have a decent amount of stock on there. And the SPACs are doing a whole lot of nothing still, and it's very wishy-washy across the board. But today, again, by using yesterday's lows, some things reclaimed them. By having your process in your system, there was some cash flow to be made. That's what we're looking to do. Make cash flow, tack it on. Tomorrow's the last day of the quarter. We'll figure it out. Hopefully you had a green day, you made some money. Hopefully you're thinking more clearly and you're just being a bit more positive, understanding that these aren't home run type days, but these are days where you can make tactical cash flow if you're thinking straight and you're prepared and you keep working on your routine. I'm having a little, what am I having? Oh, Dunkin' Donuts. I thought we had Starbucks. No. Did you guys see the video of Red Pup? It's okay. It happens. BB, what happened to BB? Nothing. Okay, anyway. Hasta mañana. See you tomorrow, guys. Last day of the quarter. We'll see what shakes out. Later, guys. Or shakes up, not out. We don't want to be shaken out. We want to be firm with our system process, so this way we could perform and make money.